Edward Garrett, 753521.
You're before this panel today as a first felony offender, serving a 5-year sentence for carnal knowledge and indecent behavior of juveniles. You have a parole eligibility date, 10/7/2024. You're not eligible for good time release, and you have a full-time date of January 7th, 2026. Does that sound correct to your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
We do have several members in support here. We have Dr. and I don't want to say the last name incorrectly. Would you introduce yourself, Dr. Mike?
I'm Dr. Mike Fulgens.
Okay. Family friend, you have Edward Garrett Jr., your father, and Gerald Davis, a family friend. You do have a member in opposition, and they will be able to speak last. Before we get started, hearing from those individuals, I would like to ask you, sir, would you let us know, tell this panel why you find yourself incarcerated and why we should consider early release?
I find myself incarcerated because I made a very bad decision that it hurt me, it hurt people involved, the victim, family, my family and friends, and it was a very bad decision on my part that I'm very hurt by. And I ask for forgiveness from everyone that I'm involved with, also from God as well.
And why should we consider you for early release?
Because as my time here, I realized that the decision I made put me here, and it was my decision that I made. And while my time here, I took some time to reflect and think on the things that I did. And I took time to keep myself involved in a facility and doing things so I can help other people, so I can better myself. So when I am released, I'll be ready for society and also be able to still help people when I get out. I learn what I learned from being incarcerated.
At this time, we will hear from your father first, Edward Garrett Jr. Would you like to make a statement on your son's behalf? Mr.
Yes,
Garrett?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I, I just miss my son, and he's a great son. He always made me and his mother proud. He never failed us before, and he always helped other people. I played basketball, and I didn't get to really go to college, but my dream was for him to do the same and make it to college, and he did. He played, he graduated, and after that he started teaching, and he and I, we started helping kids. And I'm just proud of what he had accomplished and to try to get that back in focus. I could really use him home because I'm having issues at home, myself and my wife, and he's needed. And thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We also have Dr. Mike.
Thank you. And thank you for your service. I appreciate everybody serving on the board. I've served on the State Bar of Texas Advertising Review Committee 3 terms, been the president of the Diocesan Catholic School Board. My father was the district attorney for juvenile court in Lake Charles, Louisiana for Calcasieu Parish, and often brought me as a teenager. And he always said, we're here to help kids get a better life, and if appropriate, a second chance. And I appreciate that. I've also served 9 years on the Crime Stoppers board here in Beaumont. I taught high school chemistry. Doobie was a teacher and a coach. I coached kids, boys and girls, 6 to 17, my father and daughter. I was a principal of the State Gifted Children's Program. So I know the challenges and the temptations that you face as a young teacher, and as a teacher doesn't excuse anything. And my heart goes out to the victims. I do want to give you a flavor for Doobie from his coaches that I talked to, George Price and Dave Simmons at McNeese State. Doobie always had a smile, great teammate, never got a technical foul, never was in a fight in all the college games he was in, and he was all conference in the Southland Conference. He worked as an assistant coach at McNeese after he graduated. He took a higher paying job in high school in Westlake, but the respect for his coaches for him and how he carried himself, how he worked with teammates, how he taught when he was a teacher at McNeese State will be there with George Price and Dave Simmons. I saw that when I sponsored and helped out at our low-income YMCA in Beaumont, where I met Mr. Garrett. And Doobie would volunteer there and was very helpful. Mr. Garrett and I have stayed in touch for years. His wife, Cora, is not in good health. Mr. Garrett and I talk. Doobie's daughter graduated from McNeese, was on the dance team. And I think he could be a great asset to society if given a second chance. But I do not know what has transpired other than hearing from Mr. Garrett since he was incarcerated. And so that part you have to weigh in this. But I'm giving you some context to the Doobie Garrett I knew and others knew during that time frame. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And now we have also Gerald Davis, family friend. I believe you're on mute.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to see work this technology to unmute. Oh, can y'all hear me now? Hello, how y'all doing? I'm actually my name is Bishop G.W. Davis. I live right next door to Doobie and his mom. And I was his dad's mom's pastor. She passed, and I was his mom's pastor before they passed. And I've been living next door to him for about over 15 years now. And I've observed Doobie for myself. And I don't know the circumstance surrounding or whatever happened with his case, but personally, from being involved with this family, observing Doobie with his daughters that he raised, not only his daughter and his son, but his stepdaughters. He raised them also of his wife, that he raised those girls. And Jordan that Mr. Garrett talked about, she graduated from college. His other daughter, she's married. She's living over in on. So I don't know the particulars, but I do know that Doobie is a great guy, and I believe in my heart that we all have stumbled somewhere along in life. But Doobie's never been in trouble in a day in his life. He has no record or anything for no offenses. So I plead with the pardon board to have some compassion, to give him another chance to come out and revamp his life. He's coached many of girls and stuff like that. And I'm not negating what happened to the young lady. I can't speak about that, which I don't know, but I know she has some hurt. Also, we just asking for forgiveness, we asking for mercy, and we asking for compassion, not only for him, but also concerning the young lady that went through this experience. And thank y'all, and God bless.
This time we'd like to hear from Mr. Ken Flew, the victim's father.
How are y'all today?
Yeah.
Just sitting here listening to what's been said. I understand that Doobie comes from a caring family. Daughters are doing well, kids are doing well.
Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like this video, please hit
There's some
subscribe
things
for
that
new
stood
video
out.
every week. Until next time.
Yes, I believe that everyone deserves a second chance. I do. But my daughter doesn't have that second chance to enjoy her senior year either, after all this stuff started up in the summer of 2018. She doesn't get a second chance. My daughter wasn't physically involved with him. It was pictures and grooming. There were some other girls that just didn't want to get involved. So I can't say that this is just an isolated event. I'm not the father of the one that he had sex with. And I talked to him occasionally, and they don't get a second chance. Just 8 days ago, Governor Landry was quoted in saying that, let me get his quote right here. Said Louisiana will always prioritize victims over criminals, law and order over lawlessness, and justice over the status quo. And the way I see this is just status quo. These offenses started pre-2018, and he didn't get accused until 2019. Whatever happened in the past, I got my own opinion about that, but I won't go into it. Court was put off until like 2021. Even then, the judge was given that the lawyers agreed to 14 months. And we'd already lived through over 2.5 years of dealing with this, and he was going to get 14 months. Judge came back a few months later and said 5 years. This is way less than what should have been given to him anyway. So he's get extra time out of prison. He gets a sweet deal, gets still a pretty sweet deal with 5 years, which could have been a lot longer. And now we're going to cut it down even further. This is just status quo for this situation. I understand he's going to get out someday, and that's fine. He doesn't need to be in there beyond what he's been sentenced. That's out of my hands. But my daughter, we couldn't even go on vacation and enjoy it right after she graduated, because we went to Europe and she couldn't even be around other guys that were on the bus and stuff. It was ugly. It was really ugly. So there's been some problems in that. So he can move on, but a lot of these victims are having problems with it. And I understand that he has support, and that's wonderful. I hope you do get with those people and things do get better, but I mean, we're still dealing with this as a family, and as, how are we going to go on from here? What's it going to look like? So I understand all these things. I can and will forgive him. I mean, it doesn't mean I have to have anything to do with him, but I would like for the board to consider, fulfilling what was sentenced to him, instead of just status quo, cutting back and letting things go. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Mr. Flew alluded to, you did have 6 counts against you, Mr. Garriet. At this time, we're going to allow Ms. Renatza to begin our questioning.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Flew, for your remarks and your comments. We do appreciate you participating today, and all of you who have participated. Mr. Garriet, and I agree with your father that you have achieved some accomplishments, but in your statement, when you first got started, you said you made a bad decision. And you've suffered, and others have suffered, but it was more than one bad decision. Would you say? Would you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it wasn't just one victim. I mean, we have the record, and there were multiple victims. And what's concerning to me is, you in your teaching capacity, you betrayed the trust of your community and all the students. Now, and I do appreciate what Dr. Fulgens has said and provided context for us, and your upbringing and your career as a teacher. So let me ask you, but he did defer to us on what you've done since you've been in prison. So, and I will agree with Mr. Flew. I think you got a pretty sweet deal. Now, I know you're at Catahoula, right? Is that where you're at? Is that where you're housed?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know what kind of programs they have there, but the program that is important to me and you is sex offender treatment. Have you been afforded the opportunity to for that treatment program?
No, ma'am. I've been in Caterpillar my entire
The whole
incarceration.
time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about victim awareness? Is that program available there?
No, ma'am. The only program I've been involved in is Life Healing Choices.
Okay.
And I got my OSHA training, my OSHA safety card, and my forklift certification. And also been a trustee for going on 2 years now. I'm right now in commissary.
Good. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't, lacking, and also pre-release. I don't see there where you got the 100 hours pre-release, and that is a requirement of law now. Lacking the sex offender treatment and the programs that are required by law. I'm not in a position to grant you any relief today. I can make a recommendation that you be moved to a facility that offers the sex offender treatment. I think it's important for you to dig deep and figure all that out, why this happened, before you release. The full term date, Mr. Flew, his release date will be January 7, 2026. That's his full term date. Mr. Garrett will have some challenges with the requirements for sex offender registration and all the things that go along with that. Anyway, Ms. Ledoux, I'm going to just offer my vote at this time and then defer to you all. My vote today is going to be denied because he lacks the opposition. Of course, it's been expressed, but he lacks the programs that are required.
Mr. Freeman?
My vote is the same. He needs a sex offender program plus victim and law enforcement opposition.
And I also vote to deny parole based on the abuse of power over minors and lack of training in sex offender reentry. So today, by unanimous vote, your parole has been denied.
Let me know what you think of this case in the comments below. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing. Until next time.